Hey, it's Natasha Lewis, and welcome to week 9 of the CSA. I cannot believe we are officially over the halfway mark, and we are definitely getting some sneak previews of some crops that will be on their way. So let's take you for a tour of the box. You'll see a lot of favorites and recognizable things, and some new things this week as well. We wanted to try to find a couple of new and exciting things in the garden that are coming your way, so we do have some fun things to take on our tour today. So, of course, a couple of fun new things. So, you might be getting a sneak peek preview of potatoes this week, or you might be getting a sneak peek preview of tomatoes this week. So potatoes and tomatoes are coming on their way, and we just started kind of going through the fields and looking for some, and you know, they always are kind of a little bit scarce in the beginning before that big flush. So if you're getting potatoes, these are some of the just, you know, kind of checking the rows, seeing how the crop is coming along. They might be different sizes. If you're getting tomatoes, probably going to be little cherry tomatoes in different colors. So I hope you enjoy your sneak peek, and like I said, everybody will get some here coming up very soon, but in the beginning sometimes the crops dribble in, so we're giving a few sneak peek previews this week in the box. We're also sneak peek previewing tomatillos. Now, if you haven't had a tomatillo before, they're really kind of fun. So you don't want to eat the husk. You want to take this husk off, and they are like a hard green tomato. Basically, they have a very kind of subtle, just plainish flavor, and you can dress them up any way you like. I like personally chopping them up and adding them to a salsa. I also take a couple of tomatillos and I saute them with some garlic and some onion and some pepper, and I take and use that for my refried beans. It is one of my favorite, easiest things to do. So I saute all of that. I add a little bit of cumin, a little bit of garlic powder, and then I add in my drained black beans and then a little bit of chicken stock, and I cook that until it is nice and bubbly, and I have not gone back to any other kind of bean, and it's so simple. And you know, I don't always use tomatillos. Sometimes in the winter time I actually will buy a tomatillo or two because I do like the flavor and the texture in there. But it's really wonderful to add even to like a salad or something. Try them out raw. You can obviously cook them, roast them, but I would add them raw as well, and just try them out and see what you think. We have a couple different varieties of tomatillos, and like I said, things are just kind of starting, so I wanted to go through just to make sure, things were kind of coming along, and I found a few ripe ones, so we're definitely getting a few sneak peeks. So as the season comes and goes, things come and go. We just harvested the rest of the cabbage, and so we have some smaller heads, some bigger heads, but we're really kind of excited to get that row cleaned out, and now all of this variety of cabbage is done. So this week you're getting the last of this green cabbage. Now, I personally can get overwhelmed by cabbage, so these guys will store beautifully. Just put them in your fridge, and honestly, they'll store for a very long time. Even if you have to peel off a few outside leaves, they'll keep forever. It is delicious, man. I have not had any cabbage till this last week. That's confessions of a hungry farmer right there. And I just did a saute with onion and apple. It's the simplest thing. I love using a little bit of bacon fat to saute it in, preferably even some bacon as well, but if not, butter will do too. And I was just amazed at how tender, simple things like cabbage, you really don't think about, like really the flavor difference and the texture difference of a homegrown organic cabbage, but it is such a big difference. So looking forward to red cabbages. I've been washing them, and maybe next week on them. We'll see. They're a little bit small, but we've got some red cabbages in the queue. Onions, so the onions are drying out. We've got a couple more crops of onions to pull out of the field, and so we're getting some dried onions. These you can continue to dry and keep in your pantry or whatnot, but they might be a little bit damp, especially at the necks and stuff up here, but they are fine to store just on the counter or whatnot. One of our helpers, Susan, today, she said, boy, oh boy, those onions are intensely flavored, and that's the way we like it, right? We want a good strong onion flavor. So they are very tasty, but they definitely are full-bodied onion. Okay, what lovely basil do we have this week but the lemon basil? That lemon basil is a sunny, cheery flavor. I'm actually wondering what that would be like in a pesto, but I do really love it added to lemonade, of course, but lots of fun things to do with the different kinds of basil. I actually am going to be cutting some of the basil to put into some flower arrangements in the upcoming weeks. I think sometimes the basil can be so beautiful, especially when it blooms, to add to flower arrangements, and it gives you an aromatic arrangement, which I like. All right, plenty of cucumbers, folks. The cucumbers are coming in great. I was able to get them all trellised up, and so hopefully you'll be seeing more straight cucumbers. All the curly ones are fun, and it's actually kind of fun to play like monkey in a barrel with the cucumbers as well. And I made refrigerator pickles. I'm going to give you a recipe for that refrigerator pickle because it is my mother-in-law's tastiest recipe. I love it. I just love these cucumbers. I hope you're loving them too. They're really fun. And those refrigerator pickles are super easy to make. Onion and cucumber, and then a little bit of mustard seed, celery seed, sugar, and vinegar. And you can make them and they store in the fridge. And they are one of our favorite summertime activities. Just a fun little story, in fact, about cucumbers. When I was first dating my then boyfriend, now husband, Farmer Jonathan, he actually made pickles with me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm in love. Well, now that we've been married 10 years, guess who's the main pickle maker in the family? But I do know that his love language is refrigerator pickles, so it makes me happy to make a batch of his mom's refrigerator pickles. And yeah, they're very tasty. So we got a lot of cucumbers coming your way, so do enjoy those. Of course, beans, more beans. If you haven't made pickled dilly beans, they are delicious. We'll include a recipe for those. It's a great way to store your beans a little bit longer. And because these purple ones, this is the last week for purple beans, guys. They are donezo. As soon as that other crop started, we were kind of overwhelmed with picking both the purple beans and the other colored beans, and so they have finally kind of bit the dust. And I have to admit, I'm going to have a lot of satisfaction mowing that crop down and you know, moving on to just picking the yellow and the green beans. But dilly beans you can do, and they should retain some of their color because you're not actually cooking the bean. They're a crunchy refrigerator pickle, and so you could do all three colors, guys. Wouldn't that be just fantastic? And you can zhuzh them up with a little bit of garlic, a little bit of cayenne pepper. We even have a purple cayenne pepper this week. So these are so pretty. They actually are purple in their like raw form, and then when they ripen, they turn beautiful colors of orange and red. But aren't they just so lovely? So we got a couple different peppers. We've got from hot to not. We got the cayenne, we got the jalapeno this week. I love these big blocky jalapenos. And hopefully as the season goes on, we'll have lots more of those. I found a great recipe for candied jalapenos. But these are Anaheim. They're not very hot. They are more of a mild pepper. And then we have our bell peppers. And I will just say, put a little water on these last week, and they are really kicking up. So I think we're gonna see a lot of peppers coming up in these weeks. They are looking really good, all kinds of different peppers. Patty pan squash have just started. We've got 3 different kinds of patty pans yellow. We've got these cute little yellow green and then green. This is a different variety. No, it's just not a cross between the yellow and the green. It's its whole new variety. But patty pans I like to take and cut in half length. Whoops. I cut it in half. Let's try that again. Cut it in half this direction, and I just grill those slightly on the grill. It's really tasty. But of course, any way that you prepare zucchini, you can prepare a patty pan. They're just a fun, different form. I think they look a little bit like little UFOs, little spaceships, so they're kind of fun. And sometimes, if I can get the timing right, I'll pick them really small, and then I'll skewer them, and that's super fun. But that takes quite a bit of planning to be picking them about every half a day to get them that small. Of course, lots of zucchini coming in. 'Tis the season for zucchini. I hope you found lots of great zucchini recipes by now, or that you're giving zucchini to friends. It's said that during zucchini season, it's not rare to just find a bag of zucchini on your doorstep, or if you leave your doors unlocked in farm country, you might just open your car up and find some zucchini in there. But that's a fun idea, right? You could put a zucchini or two in a bag, staple your favorite zucchini recipe to it, and drop it off at a neighbor's house. Just a kind, little fun thing to do, and to, you know, just reach out to your neighbors, kind of a fun thing. Okay, and we have some celery. So celery, just kind of some baby celery. You can use the leaf and everything, and this would be very tasty chopped up, added to a salad. The leaves, you can always dehydrate those leaves, and they're wonderful in soups and things like that. I made a soup this week and just tried to use up as many different items as possible from my fridge. And I had some carrots in there, some beans, we had, you know, potatoes, we had all kinds of different things, and a little bit of celery in there, very tasty, and just, you know, a wonderful, wonderful dish. So there is our box, lots of fun things. I hope you enjoy your little previews and all of the goodies, and make some wonderful pickles this week so you can enjoy some of these things even after they are done for the season. So happy cooking, friends. Thanks for joining us for week 9 of the CSA box.